Hey everyone, it's Atika. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It always feels so good to be making YouTube videos. It literally just makes me so excited. I want to share with you all my birth story. I had such an incredible birthing experience, and if I can encourage any mamas out there with my birthing experience, then I'm gonna take as many opportunities as I possibly can to do so. If you are new here, my name is Atika. My husband's name is Taylor, and we have a beautiful 3-week-old baby boy named Phoenix. And oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed with so many different emotions because I just had the greatest birthing experience ever. I don't want to waste any time. I want to go ahead and get literally right into the video. So my birthing experience starts with the midwives brew. Y'all, I took the midwives brew. I did my midwives version of it. The version that's out, that's very super common and popular, is the one that has like almond butter, 2 tablespoons of castor oil, nectar juice, lemon verbena tea, and I think there was something else, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I messaged my midwife and asked her if it was okay for me to take that, and she said yes, but she gave me her own version of it, which was peanut butter ice cream, and that's 2 separate things: peanut butter and then ice cream, not peanut butter ice cream, and then castor oil. So I tried her version because I am an ice cream gal. If y'all don't know me, I eat, sleep, and breathe ice cream. So I did her version of it. So I did like a cup of ice cream and then 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and 2 tablespoons of castor oil. So anyway, the week that my baby boy was born, he was born May 12th, 2023, which was a Friday. So this was the beginning of the week. It was like a Tuesday that I drank the midwives brew. And anytime I would drink the midwives brew, because I did it like 2 or 3 times, anytime that I would drink it, it gave me contractions from about, let's say I would take it at around 7 a.m. and then I would have contractions from 11 a.m. to about 3 p.m. and then the contractions would just stop. So it never actually put me into labor. It only gave me false labor, unfortunately. But something that the midwives brew did do for my body was it dilated me. So I thought that was a little weird. I thought it was interesting that it wasn't putting me into labor. However, it was dilating me, which I was okay with. I wanted to see progress in either direction, either in being effaced or being dilated. So I ended up, he was born on a Friday, so Thursday, it was 2 a.m. Contractions started to pick back up for some reason. And that was rare for me with the midwives brew because, like I said, I would take it at 7 a.m. They would start at 11 a.m. and then end by 3 p.m. So it was weird that it was picking back up in the middle of the night. So I was telling Taylor, I was like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and time the contractions. So I timed them, and once again, it was still false labor because my contractions weren't getting closer together and they weren't intensifying. So it was just giving me just these contractions that were doing absolutely nothing for my body, unfortunately. Those contractions kept me up all night though, because they were stronger than the ones that I was experiencing before, but they still, like I said, weren't intensifying and they weren't getting closer together. So I had been up since 2 a.m. Thursday all the way until 3 p.m. was when I finally contacted my midwife. So I had been having contractions for about, 13 or 14 hours. I had been just up. I had no sleep. I was absolutely exhausted. I just wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to rest. So by 3 p.m. I contacted my midwife and I was like, I'm exhausted. what do I do? Because there's no way I can do this again for another night. And she told me to go ahead and go to the hospital and get what's called therapeutic rest. So basically what that is they give you like an IV of fluids and stuff, and it subsides the contractions enough for you to be able to get some rest. And I was like, okay, awesome. Because I already had an induction scheduled for May 17th. So I was like, okay, cool. As long as I can just make it to there, I am fantastic. I'll be fine. So my husband and I wait for my husband to get home from work. He gets home finally around like 4. We head to the hospital, and by the time that we're about 10 minutes away from the hospital, I get a call from my midwife, and she is basically like, okay, you have 2 options, girlfriend. You can either go to the hospital, get therapeutic rest, and then go home, wait for your induction on the 17th, or you can come in, get checked, and if you're 5 centimeters dilated, we can go ahead and admit you to the hospital. They'll break your water and you can have the baby. So my husband and I were absolutely overjoyed. I was like, absolutely, I would love to have this baby right now. So I ended up going there. I got checked and I was 5 centimeters dilated. Like I said, y'all, that midwife's brew, it was always successful in dilating me. So I was so hopeful on the drive there that I had made it to 5 centimeters, and I did. So we got admitted, everything was fantastic. And from here, I wrote everything down in the notes section on my phone because I did not want to like forget anything. So we got to the hospital. I got checked around 5. We got admitted around 6. So I started receiving fluids to get an epidural. So I ended up opting in for an epidural. My whole goal with labor and delivery was to push myself as long as I possibly could without any medical interventions or anything of that nature. And I felt like I succeeded with that because I thought I was only going to be able to make it to about 2 centimeters dilated before asking for some pain medicine. But I made it to 5, and that made me so happy and so excited. So I was so proud of myself. And like I said, I had been up since 2 a.m. and now here I am at 6 p.m. about to push out a baby. So I needed help. I needed something. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been able to make it, honestly. So I started receiving all of my fluids and stuff. By the time it was 6:40, I had gotten all my fluids and I had finally received the epidural. So after I received the epidural, they broke my water shortly after. So my active labor started at about 7 p.m. So I went to about 7 to 11. Phoenix was born at 11:20 p.m. Now, all throughout the process, as you know, when you have an epidural, you can't feel anything from the waist down. And so I was like, okay, like I don't feel anything. It's spectacular. It was awesome. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I didn't feel anything. And so I labored on my right hand side for a little bit. So they flipped me over. I labored on my right side, and then they flipped me over, and I labored on my left hand side with a little peanut ball in between my legs. And that progressed me so much. I started to feel a little bit of pressure on my right hand side, my lower back area. I started to experience that, but the nurse came in and she was like, I've already, administered more of the epidural medication to you. So at this point, it's just the natural pressure that you're going to feel from the baby descending down your birth canal. And so I was like, oh, okay, like that's fine. But it was causing me to shake really bad. If you've ever heard about the labor shakes, that's definitely a thing. I had the labor shakes. I was shaking so bad. And then right before I was about to push, I threw up. And that actually made me super helpful because I had heard that once you start vomiting, it means that you're close to pushing. So I was so hopeful. Taylor got super nervous and he went on ahead and called the nurse and he was like, she's throwing up. And she came in and she checked me and I was 9 centimeters dilated. She came and checked me at about 10 p.m. And they called my midwife to go ahead and come to the hospital because, she was at her home. So they were like, go ahead and come to the hospital. She is almost ready to push. So I was so excited about that. At around And now I found all these notes. The reason why the times are so specific was because when I got back my labor and delivery notes, everything was super, super detailed. So that's why I'm able to tell you all every single detail. So 10:52, my midwife arrives. Our moms are sent out because my mom and Taylor's mom were in the room at the time. They're sent out and I began pushing. Now, they weren't sent out by the doctor. I requested in my birth plan for it to just be Taylor and I when Phoenix entered the world. So I began pushing at 10:52, and at 11:20, Phoenix was born. So I had only pushed for 28 minutes, and that sweet baby boy came out, and oh my gosh, you all, Taylor and I were just so overjoyed. We were so excited, and I was just, oh my gosh, it was the best feeling ever in the entire world. Also, something that I forgot to mention as well was, since my contractions weren't doing anything for me, they also started me on Pitocin after they broke my water. That's also an important detail as well. They had started me on Pitocin, and even with that, I still did not feel the Pitocin contractions that everyone kind of talks about and stuff. So yeah, I just forgot to insert that in there. So that's my little nugget that I'm gonna put in there. We had such an incredible birthing experience, you all. I did not expect to be put on Pitocin. I didn't expect to get an epidural. I had no expectations going into my labor and delivery, and I think that was definitely the Lord. Like, I think the most, like, women can just go in there without any expectations and just allow God to be God and to let your birthing experience be the way that He has orchestrated it and the way that He has ordained it. Do that. Of course, listen to birth stories if you want to listen to birth stories, but don't listen to them so much to where you're like, oh, well, my friend was throwing up and she immediately went, had the baby, so maybe that's going to happen to me, and then when you get into labor and that doesn't end up happening for you, you feel disappointed and things like that. So I think that was the biggest thing that I could take away from the birthing experience, was I had no expectations, and it ended up being the best birthing experience ever, you all, because I remember praying to God like beforehand, like 3 months beforehand, all the way leading up to it. I was like, Lord, if I have a traumatic birth experience, I don't know if I'm going to be able to have kids again, because the last trimester was already like super tough for me. So I was like, if I have a traumatic birth experience, I don't know if I'm going to push out more children, Lord. And God, y'all, God cares about the details. He really, really does. Like, He is just, I'm literally like just glowing, just like boasting, like with just the goodness and the glory of the Lord, because all glory to Him. Like, seriously, it was such an incredible birthing experience. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna insert a clip. I had already filmed this video once, okay, but I didn't like it, so I'm refilming it right now. So from the previous one that I recorded, I'm gonna insert a clip of Taylor and Phoenix coming in at the end of the video. All right, you all, so this is Phoenix.
Say hello to Phoenix. Phoenix, say hey to everybody, buddy.
Say hi, Bubba.
Say hello. He's like, what?
Oh, yeah,
like,
for real.
What are y'all doing?
Yes, so this is our sweet boy. We can't wait to tell you all the meaning behind his name. It's actually a part of Taylor's testimony. Taylor's had it picked out for a while. So, yes, we're going to go ahead.
Are you saying hi?
Yeah.
Are you saying hey to everybody?
He just woke up, so he's ready to eat.
Look, give me some food, y'all. Come
Right.
on.
Bubby.
I love his little camo outfit.
I know. But if you all have any questions about the birth story or anything like that, be sure to let us know either on Instagram or in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I pray that you have an amazing day, night, evening, morning, wherever it is you are, and know that Jesus loves you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. He definitely just pooped.